You mentioned yesterday that Eric was going to be guarding Harden. Now that Kevin Durant's out, does that change things? You have Tate free to guard somebody else.
Possibly. I don't know what their lineup's going to be with two starters out. So it kind of remains to be seen who's going to be guarding who. So we're going to try to wait and see.
What do you think when you hear something like that Durant and Aldridge are resting tonight?
I see it as, part of the NBA and almost like a trap, like this is something that our guys hopefully won't see as, oh, we're good. We'll see as it's about us and how we play. And regardless of who we're playing, we have to play a certain way. So, yeah, I see it. I don't find necessarily comfort because they're still a very good team and all of that. And we have to be ready.
And they ISO more than anyone. You take out two of the three guys who ISO so much. Does it take away whatever you spent a lot of time on at practice yesterday, shoot around this morning, to find that out after those things are done?
Yeah, we went over all our stuff for those guys, and now it's out the window, which is fine because we're, like I keep saying, we're very bland defensively, but we did think about how we were going to play those guys and talk about them quite a bit. So yeah.
Is that the same on the other end of the court? I mean, with LaMarcus, they're almost exclusively kind of drop coverage. If they have to play Nick Claxton, or if they have to actually give Blake some opportunities, might they switch more? And does that kind of also play into just changes you guys have to make?
We're pretty comfortable at this point playing against switching or drops or up coverage, or we haven't seen much blitzing, but we're pretty adept in kind of reading what the defense is going to do and making plays, especially over the last stretch. So most of the stuff we've been talking about has been defensive. And for us, it's our recipe is getting the ball to the floor quickly and attacking before the defense gets set and getting to our driving kick game. And, that won't change.
Does the uncertainty over who replaces KD impact who starts for you, and whether you go small or stay with the two bigs?
Possibly.
Or do you already know?
No, I don't know. I'm waiting. I have a good idea, obviously. Like I've thought about it, but I don't know right now.
Any other health stuff beyond what we already know?
Yeah. So House yesterday twisted his ankle in practice, and I neglected to say that, and I'm not sure that I was even asked. Okay, well, yeah, he twisted his ankle yesterday, and he's day to day.
That's it.
That's it. Besides Scoot and Jalen and Oos.
Has there been any progress on kind of getting John back into the fray with everyone?
No, we're right where we said we were a week ago.
You get an opportunity to, would Josh be able to play a little bit some tonight to be able to play some defense on Harden?
I think he's going to play tonight. I'm not sure who he's going to be playing against, but yeah, he's most likely going to play, especially with House out.
What makes it so difficult to prepare for a team like this? Because they're just as good on the road as they are at home.
Yeah, I mean, they're a nightmare to prepare for regardless. I mean, James is such a good player, and what he does is make everybody else better on the floor. I mean, that's one of his greatest gifts is, I mean, obviously he's a great scorer, but with regardless of who's on the floor with him, he's going to make sure that they're playing better because he draws so much attention and he can really, really pass and make plays for others and put so much pressure on the defense. So yeah, that's the problem. That's the quandary when you're preparing for this team, regardless of its home or away. It's the who.
What kind of reception do you think you'll get here? I mean, I know there were a couple thousand in the stands last year when they came in March, but what kind of reception do you think James will get here with that?
I hope he gets a great reception. He's one of the best Rockets ever. So I would assume he'd get a great reception.
Do you get the sense, Stephen, that there's like an added mental, emotional element to tonight's game, given how the situation happened with James Harden last year and a couple of the guys who were on last year's team, seeing him again, in tonight's game?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I haven't heard anything, or they haven't talked about it much at all, or whatever. So we're very different than when he was on the team last year. So there's just a couple guys left, and no, for us, it's hopefully an opportunity to get our 7th in a row.